Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this Facebook Live. Today we have a awesome. Well, first off, it's an incredible market. It's an incredible time, and we are very fortunate to have an incredible guest today from Palm Desert, Darci Hope. Darci, your name sounds like you're a movie star, Darci Hope, doesn't it? What a great name for a realtor. Well, welcome.
How are you? Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. So let's start off by telling a little about yourself, how long you've been doing this, all that good stuff, please.
Okay, well, I've been licensed and selling for 5 years now, and my husband was actually a sales trainer and seminar promoter. So we traveled all over the U.S. and Canada for 15 years. Basically, we moved every 3 months for 15 years, promoting sales training seminars. And I was primarily a stay-at-home homeschool mom, but getting into real estate was a natural progression from that because I had been around real estate and sales training so much. And we owned a couple of vacation rentals out here in the Coachella Valley. And after coming off the road and sending our kids to school and managing the vacation rentals for a few years, I thought, hey, I've always loved architecture and houses and what they represent and what an important part of our lives they can be, especially now. And I'm also really passionate about our desert lifestyle here. So I got my license.
Nice. Well, great. Well, that's a great story. I had no idea. What kind of sales training did he do? Was it for different industries, or it wasn't around real estate, was it?
Well, real estate and mortgage was our bread and butter, but it was really all sales. Yeah. Insurance, auto dealers, trucks, timeshares, everything. And started off with Tony Robbins and then Brian Tracy and then Tom Hopkins and Jim Rohn, Dennis Waitley, all the big names.
Wow. I did not know that. That's awesome. Yeah. Tony Robbins, all those big names. I love them all. I haven't heard the name Brian Tracy in a while, but I love Brian Tracy.
Yeah.
His son is actually
great. Really nuts and bolts.
Yeah, very. Yeah, he's got Eat That Frog. That's his book. He's got a bunch of good stuff though. He's getting up there.
Exactly. And when it's time to hit the phone, that's exactly what I think. Just knock the worst thing out of the way, eat the frog, and then you can enjoy the rest of your day.
That's great. That's great. Well, then you come from then you know all the slogans. You know exactly what to do, right? It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, it's funny though when it's like anecdotal, do what you got to do. And then when you're really like doing what you got to do.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing, isn't it?
Yes, totally. But it's all true. There is an element of truth in all of it.
Yes. So within 5 years, you're number, one of the top agents in that office and team. Okay, in under 5 years, which is pretty incredible. So give them an idea of where you are production-wise so far this year, where you're going to end up and so forth, please.
So right now I'm at 13 million. I had a great beginning of the year. I think it's easier to keep the momentum going. So at the end of last year, it was just push, push, push. I was showing houses on Thanksgiving. I was showing houses on Christmas Eve day and getting them into contract. So because of that hard work and effort, my first 2 quarters were amazing. And, now just like everybody else, I got to keep it going. So I'm at 13 million and the goal is 20. 25 would be great, but I'd be very happy to hit 20, me and my team, by the end of the year.
Yeah, you and your team. And that's great. 20 million that's a decent amount of production, I must say. That's great. Now, okay, so tell us a little about your team. Who's on it, please?
So I have Annalisa, which is a dear friend of mine, Annalisa Cheney, and she comes from New Home Sales. She was an award-winning new home sales rep in Palm Springs. And then I have Marie Chavez, who is a new agent, but she is just so motivated and so amazing, always has a smile on your face, and they're both just wonderful people, and it's wonderful to be surrounded by good energy and have the honor and pleasure of helping them reach their goals as well.
That's so awesome. Everybody on your team has a movie star name.
I guess so, right. It's a requirement.
It's a requirement, yeah. You have to have a name that sounds like a movie or rock star in order to join.
Right.
And it starts with you. I love it. That's so awesome. Now, my theory is, just because, we're in a few markets, Orange County, Las Vegas, Phoenix, Scottsdale area. In your area, I see as a really big hotspot, especially people like California in the history of, since I've been in real estate 36 years now, this is the first time in history for the last year, as many people are moving out as are moving in, right? Yes. Getting out of those very expensive areas like the Bay Area, Los Angeles, right. Orange County. And I'm guessing a lot of them are coming to you, aren't they?
Absolutely. Yes. Not only are people coming from all over like they always have, but now they're heavily moving here from San Francisco and LA. I feel like at the beginning of the pandemic, it was more like 90% San Francisco, 8% LA, and 2% from other places. And then as the pandemic moved on, it became 40% LA, 40% San Francisco, and then the balance from other places.
Well, that's good. That's good to know, especially somebody who's dealing with people all the time. And I'm sure you know exactly where they're coming from. And that's, think about it though. If you're somebody that just wants to stay in California, but you have like a baby boomer, right? You have all this appreciation. You probably own your house outright. It's probably quadrupled in value since you bought it, right?
Yeah.
Why not go to the desert, right? It's a great place.
Totally. And our quality of life is so high out here. Why would you want to live in this city where if you don't have to commute and you don't have to be at the office every single day, or if you're sitting on a pile of equity, you can live like a king out here. Even though our prices have gone up, you can still get a pretty amazing house and have a really high quality of life by moving here.
Yeah, I know. It's such a great, and folks, this isn't a commercial. It's just a fact.
Yeah, we just love California.
Yeah. Move to the desert, everyone, and call Darci, please.
Right.
So tell us a little idea of how you do your business. How's it set up? My first question always with somebody producing as much as you is, what's your percentage of listings sold versus buyer sales? And you can take us through that, please.
So I still really enjoy working with buyers. Obviously, it's not as much fun right now as it once was. So I'm making the transition into a listing agent right now. But I love working with buyers, and I still call and follow up every single day looking for people that want to look at houses with me, because I love looking at houses. I love seeing the different choices and really helping them find exactly the right fit for them. I feel like I almost have a sixth sense about the right fit for someone, even if they're looking at one area. Because I know the desert so well, I grew up here, I can say, well, this neighborhood in this other city is similar to that, so let's go explore that area. So I'm still heavily working with buyers, but making that transition now.
Awesome. Tell them that little rundown you did. You show them 10 houses, they fall in love with. Tell them that little, you said it wasn't fun. Tell them that little progression. I think it'd be valuable for them to hear that.
Yeah. So what it used to be was I'd show someone 10 houses and we'd pick 3 and figure out what the right one was. And then I would negotiate the deal on the one that they liked the best. And now in this market, it's show them 3. None of them are exactly the right one, but they have to pick one and we have to pay over ask for it. That's this market.
And enjoy every minute of it, by the way. Yes, it's so true.
Yes, right. My husband tells me never to complain about this market.
Right. No, it's true. It's true. Even though it has different, see, people think, I've been doing this for 36 years and I've been coaching for over 25 now. And, and people say, I can't wait for the up market. I can't wait for the market. I can't wait for the market to be crazy. There's just different challenges when it's crazy, right?
It's very true, right? This is a whole different animal. And even though buyers are just ready to go and ready to buy, I have a $3 million buyer. I don't have a house to sell him. Like literally, we've been looking for months because it has to have at $3 million, it has to have certain things. It's not, I can't show him 3 and just, sorry, one of them has to work. He wants what he wants and it just isn't there right now. Right.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy, but hey, you know what? Take him, ask him what neighborhood he wants to live in and then call everyone and see if they're looking to sell.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
I knew you were. I just figured I'd point it out. Good.
Yes.
Yeah, all the sales. Tommy Hopkins, too. That's the other name you mentioned that I haven't heard in a while. But Tommy Hopkins was really, really good.
Oh, he
Okay.
was great. Yeah. And really, it's better when someone is more specific with me because then I can turn over every stone by calling everyone in the neighborhood, calling expireds. There's not that many expireds now, but really turning over every stone because I know exactly what they want.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, and they do have to compromise a little bit today, but at the same
Yes.
token, their house is appreciating at a killer clip. And if they're coming from San Francisco or Los Angeles or even San Diego, these prices are cheap to them.
Oh, we're still on sale
Yeah,
for any compared to any other part of California. We're absolutely still on sale.
yeah, and I think it'll continue with the appreciation because of where they're coming. Like I'll tell you a quick, like in Nevada, something was up with my cell phone, so I went down to my earbuds, my new earbuds, and I went down to Apple. So I'm talking with while we're waiting for my new earbuds, the free ones to come out. He says to me, "What do you do for work?" I go, "I'm in real estate." And here's what he says next: "I hate those California buyers." I go, "Well, what do you mean?" He goes, "They're moving from California. They're paying cash so they can pay over asking. How can we compete with that?" I'm like,
Right.
I know. And it's driving the prices up. So I think like Las Vegas, Phoenix is probably the most along, but still has a way to go. And you guys have a way to go too. But until those prices even become, we have to go, do I want to move? Because right now the prices are so different from where they're coming from. It's still a
Right.
no-brainer.
Totally. Yep.
All right. So what do you see? Give us your crystal ball. You've been doing this for 5 years now and in the industry really your whole life. What do you see happening over the next year or two?
So I actually do a lot of research, and it does seem like prices will continue to go up through the end of this year and into next until interest rates go up. There's really nothing to slow it down. We are seeing an uptick in inventory, but as soon as the houses hit the market, we've got a line of buyers that want to buy them. So until that changes, nothing's going to change.
Yeah, I totally agree with you too. And I agree with the interest rates. I think we just had a normal summer this year too, where
Yeah.
inventory, because kids are in school, and it's funny because yesterday here I have one left and he's a junior in high school, and I forgot what the traffic was like because the whole
Oh,
summer.
yeah.
And
Right.
Monday I'm like, "Where's the concert?" "Oh yeah, school started today."
Right. Exactly.
All right. So now I want to get into my favorite question to ask you, and that is, okay. So knowing what you know now, you've been doing this for 5 years. You're a top producer. You're like a top producer overnight, which is amazing, right? And now you'll probably exceed $20 million, which is incredible. Especially,
Hope
well,
so.
what's your average sale price for you? Do you know what your average is?
It's
About
actually about 550, which is average for the area.
so 550, 20 over. You're gonna close 40 something. High 30s, if not 42, 43 deals this year, which is incredible. By the way, that's like
That's the goal. Thank you.
that's pretty much one a week. Yeah, closing a week.
Well, that's the goal.
Close.
Yeah. So for the first like 5 months, I was doing one a week. So I thought, well, great. Then I need to sell, 50, 52 houses this year. So hopefully I can keep pulling that off.
That'd be great. One a week would be great. I
Yeah, with me and my team, I believe we can do it. It's like
think
23 more houses this year because I want them to win too. That's just as important as me winning.
that's awesome. I can see we can feel that too. That's incredibly awesome. And you have to be super nice to them because they also have movie star names. So there you go.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So your top three pieces of advice you'd give them if somebody has goals similar to yours.
Yes. So the first thing is for a new agent, someone getting started, there's no getting around paying your dues, and getting started is hard. So go to all the trainings and learn as much as you can, as fast as you can. That's the number one thing. That's what I did. I did as much floor time as I could, and I went to all the trainings. And then the second thing I would say is that real estate is a 24/7 business. And even though it can give you great flexibility, you have to be willing to drop things at a moment's notice in order to serve your clients because their needs are paramount and they can feel that. Someone's home search is more important than anything else. When a house hits the market, I have alerts set up on my phone and I call them and I say, property match just hit. Do you want me to go do a video walkthrough right now? So it doesn't matter what I had planned, drop everything and tend to your clients. And then the number 3 thing would be every transaction that you do, you learn something new. So the more transactions you do, the more value you can bring your clients. And there does seem to be a direct correlation between your compensation and how much value you're bringing to your clients.
Awesome. I'm going to tell you, I love all 3 of those, but I love the fact that you brought up you got to pay your dues.
Yes, there's no getting around it.
Well, it's the number one reason why people get out of the business too. It's the number one reason why.
Exactly. And I wish someone had, I would have done it regardless, but if I had been prepared for how hard it was and how much you have to just do the grunt work because you can't handle $1 million buyer or seller right out the gate. You really aren't prepared for that. So go ahead and pay your dues and then you'll be prepared.
Yeah, you have to get experience, and experience simply means doing it wrong first before you get it right.
Right. And at Berkshire Hathaway, we have so much support that, tap into that, and they're never going to let you do it wrong. They're going to hold your hand every step of the way.
Well, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Yes. And I believe that too. I think we're especially, with all the tools that we have, if you guys use the tools that we have, we're like, you can't get the tools for what you're paying for them if you were to buy them as an individual agent out there from right down the line. So I really appreciate that comment. Thank you very much. Paying your dues. And, the thing is that it takes a while. Like real estate, unlike any other business, okay, like if you're going to make the same kind of money as a lawyer or as a doctor or whatever.
Exactly.
You got to go to school for 8, 10, 12 years.
Yeah. And then be a grunt in a law firm before you make it a partner. Yep.
And I tell them all the time, because I've owned another business, and it's the most incredible business to go from zero to hero out of all of them. And like if you own, like I used to build houses, every house you have being built has a bill, right?
Yes.
In real estate, you're making 5, 6, 7% of the total number, and you have no overhead really. It's a pretty incredible business.
And there's a process to building a house. You don't just overnight have a house built. So it is very similar to that. There's a permitting process, getting licensed. There's, doing a section, making sure it was done right. Yeah, exactly.
Materials. In real estate, you have to have a positive, wonderful attitude. A great brand is good.
Every single day.
You still have to have a system. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So I really appreciate you saying it. And it's very obvious. You definitely exude this. I think you love what you do. It's pretty obvious. Right?
Oh my gosh. I love it so much. I really wish I had known about real estate when I was 18. I'm sure I would have got into it much sooner. And then I would have, a 20-year career behind me. And then I'd have all those people to call up and say, you want to sell right now? You want to sell right now?
Right. Yeah. Oh, you mean prospecting? I love that. That's one of my favorites. Yes. All right. No, cool. No, but you wouldn't have traveled the world and done all the things that you did.
Yes, so. I wouldn't do it any other way. But I kind of want to go back to high schools now and let people know, hey, there's this career called real estate. Maybe you've never heard of it, because I lived in the same house, so I had never met a realtor until I started going with my husband to sales trainings.
Yeah, it's really funny you say that, because I got my license at 19, my second year of college.
That's wonderful. Right? Yeah.
And when I started, and so my first full-time year, I was 20. And my joke used to be, don't take this the wrong way, everybody, but my joke used to be, the average age of a person in my office is partially deceased. Because everybody...
Were you in a Century 21?
Yeah, exactly. No, close, ERA. And the reason I say that is because I was 20 and the average age in my office was 60-something. But now, look, I'm 56 now, so that isn't old anymore.
There you are. Now
no one 36 years ago did real estate as a first career like they do now.
Right, exactly. It's a second career, yep.
Or third or fourth, or I'm retired, or my kids.
Or, hey, I'll get my license and just sell a house once in a while in the country club that I live in. That's huge out here.
So when someone comes in like yourself and makes it a real business out of the get-go, look what's possible for somebody if they have the right attitude, system, work ethic.
Yes. And that's the thing, too, is treating it like a business. Like you compared it to being a doctor or a lawyer. It's the same thing. It's you have to pay attention to your numbers and reinvest in your business when you sell a house. And it's not just one-offs here and there in order to get the consistency that you need to be consistently productive, which keeps you a lot happier than when you're like, am I ever going to sell a house again?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It's the most fun business in the world when you're rocking and rolling and writing deals.
Yes.
It's horrific, horrendous, and terrible if you're
Yes.
not doing anything.
That's exactly right.
All right. Well, any final words you want to leave these wonderful people, Darci?
I think everyone who's on this should be very grateful that they are with Berkshire Hathaway, and they should continue to tap into the tools and the trainings that we have, because the more you use it, the better your business will be.
Awesome. I appreciate that. And look, you're a testimonial, because look, folks, even her office wall behind her is Cabernet. All right, Darci. Well, thank you very much.
You're so welcome. I said I planned that 17 years ago when we painted it. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for taking your time out today. This was awesome. We had a blast, and I'm sure they learned a lot. So thank you for taking your time out. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right. Bye, everybody.